So if he does sign, we've all heard the reports that Darius Garland's camp would ask for a trade. If Mitchell resigns, what do you think it means for the rest of the roster? Garland and Allen and Mobley.
Yeah. Right now, I can tell you that the Cavs have no intention, are not really interested in moving any of their core four. Now, we've heard the reports that if Donovan Mitchell does sign that extension, Rich Paul and Darius Garland's camp will request a trade, will seek a trade because they're not sure. They don't really like the fit of Garland next to Mitchell. Now, I can tell you that those players get along wonderfully. They have a great personal relationship. So it's not about that. It's just about their fit. And I think beforehand, even though the Cavs now are kind of, putting word out, we don't really want to move any of our core four, which would be Garland, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley. I think that they would be most open to moving Garland if, number one, his camp requests a trade, and number two, uh, I think that maybe there was, with Garland's struggles this past season and not really fitting, especially after the All-Star break, after he came back from his injury, his broken jaw. I think that the Cavs were probably thinking a little bit, maybe Mitchell and Garland don't work. We've given it 2 years. Maybe it's time to move on. And certainly they're not going to move on from Donovan Mitchell. So, the guy to be moved on from would be Darius Garland.
The other thing is the Cavs aren't going to come out and say that they're going to move on from one of their core four because you've immediately devalued. If you were going to trade
Yeah.
Darius Garland, you said, yeah, you devalue his trade value if you come out and say you're going to do that. So you absolutely, we think he's an all-star. He just had a little bit of a down. If even if you're going to trade him, you're building him up.
Yeah, and we saw that, Dave. You're exactly right. Back in, a decade ago when the Cavs insisted they weren't going to trade number one overall draft pick Andrew Wiggins. They kept going on and on and on over the summer at Summer League that they weren't going to do it. They kept building him up. We think he's got a bright future next to LeBron James. And then, you know, August before the season, Andrew Wiggins gets shipped off and Kevin Love comes to town. That worked out okay. So, yeah, absolutely. They're not going to say, hey, we're looking to trade Darius Garland right now because you stand a chance to get a lot more for him in return. Should you say, we're not motivated to trade any of these guys right now, and I'm sure that's the way they're approaching it. So I think that there is a sense that they could make a move with Garland, but again, you can't do anything until you find out what Donovan Mitchell's doing.